Welcome to Rudd TV. Today we are giving you tips on how to put together your chain suspension for safe lifting. Why is the weight of the load so important?
As you can surely imagine, if you have a small load, you can also use a small chain. The bigger the loads and the heavier the loads, the bigger the chains you need. Here we are talking about the nominal diameters. However, the components also get bigger with the nominal size.
What do I need to take into consideration when I want to safely design a chain suspension?
First and foremost, the weight plays a major role. However, the number of lifting points and the position of the lifting points in relation to the center of gravity of your load also play a major role.
How important is the number of lifting points?
There are single-strand chain suspensions and double-strand chain suspension, as well as chain suspensions with 3 and 4 strands. The number of lifting points shows you how many chain strands you can use. Generally speaking, the more chain strands you can put into use, the smaller your chain suspension can be. A small example: in order to lift 5 tons with a 1-strand chain suspension, you need a nominal diameter of 10 mm. You can do the same with an 8 mm chain suspension, if you use 4 lifting points and thus a 4-strand chain suspension.
The position of the lifting points and the load center are important. Why?
The position of the lifting points result in the angle of inclination for multi-strand chain suspensions. When it comes to the angle of inclination, we differentiate 2 ranges, 0 to 45 degrees and 45 to 60 degrees. The greater the angle of inclination, the lower the maximum payload of your chain suspension. Another example: with a 10 mm 4-strand chain suspension and an angle of inclination up to 45 degrees, you can lift a load of up to 10 tons. If you want to use the same chain suspension with an angle of inclination of more than 45 degrees, you may only lift 7.5 tons. We always assume a symmetrical load center.
Which components make up a chain suspension?
A chain suspension can be designed in a very individual manner. Basically, each chain suspension consists of a master link with the corresponding RFID transponder, 1 to 4 chain strands, which can be combined with various shortening elements and end components.
Is there anything in particular to consider when choosing the master link?
The master link is the interface between the crane hook and the chain suspension. It is therefore all the more important to choose the right size for the existing crane hook. In a separate video we will show you a guide to choosing the right master link.
What shortening options does Rudd offer?
We offer 3 shortening options: the shortening hook, the multi-shortening claw, and, if you are looking for accuracy down to the millimeter, we offer the VIP length adjuster. We will show you more details in a separate video.
End components, what are those?
End components are the interface between the chain suspension and the lifting points and thus the load. In our ICE and VIP program we offer various end components, such as our ICE Star hook, our Cobra hook, clevis shackles, foundry hooks or suspension rings. We also have a suitable product for special applications, such as the ROV hook for underwater applications.
VIP and ICE, what does that mean?
Chains are divided into grades. At Rudd, VIP stands for grade 10 and ICE for grade 12. In order to better distinguish between the grades, we have used different colors at Rudd.
What is an identification tag?
Our identification tag not only shows the most important parameters of a chain suspension, such as the maximum payload in the different angle ranges. It also offers assistance to the user for visual inspection before using the chain suspension, hence the unusual shape. The user can check the most important criteria for discarding a chain before use.
Thank you very much for your attention. You can find more information on the topic of lifting and moving loads on our website.